I don't know where to go anymore. I have no home. I have no home. I don't even know where to go anymore. All I keep doing is driving back and forth on highways. We spend all our time in the car. I can't even cook for food anymore because it's getting colder outside. I try to do my best, but where am I going? Where am I going? I'm either driving to a friend's cabin, which is 3 hours away, or I'm driving to a campground, which is $38 a night and has a shower. Either way, I'm spending money. Inconvenience. This is inconvenience. They evicted me. I was just starting a new business. Hoping to build a financial future, and now all that debt I'm carrying with me too. Crazy. City of St. John's.
We are living in a retirement nightmare right now with so many people facing homelessness. You know, when I grew up, seeing your parents, and then for me, working decades, you think retirement is a time of peace and quiet. You're rewarded for all your hard work. And for so many, it has become a complete nightmare. It's not like that anymore, unfortunately. There are so many people right now that are one rent, one medical bill, and one bad month of being homeless out on the streets. That's very sad. But that, unfortunately, is the reality that we are living in right now. I grew up believing that after working really hard for years, and everything would be fine. You know, you're putting into your 401k. You know, if you're fortunate enough to have a 401k, I worked for only one company that had a 401k, so I really didn't have a whole lot in a 401k. I was fortunate enough to have a pension, not a large one by any means, but I just saved for my retirement. That's what I had to do. So that's what we're thinking, that everything was great. You know, a lot of people get that when you retire, people are taking all these beautiful vacations and they're walking through the sand on a beach with their margaritas. For the most part, most people aren't doing that. Most people wish they could do that, but most people are not doing that. And so many people right now are having a hard time with the housing costs, the groceries, the insurance. We're being taxed to death. So you're going to see people that are not always going to tell you how bad they're struggling. I get it. They're proud. I get that. They're embarrassed as to where they're at in life. They're going to feel like they failed. They didn't do enough to prepare themselves. I didn't always do enough to prepare myself. But you're going to find people sleeping in cars. You're going to find people staying with other family members or going from place to place. Can you imagine being in your 60s and 70s and you're not sure if you're going to have a home to go home to next month? I can't imagine that. I am very blessed that I have a home, and maybe I bought at the right time. I don't know, but it's affordable. I feel thankful that I'm where I'm at, but I feel so bad for some of these people that are one rent away from losing everything.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Furaha, and on today's video we are discussing the economic crisis that is happening in America. I know this is happening in most other countries in the world, but we are basing these on the American situation. So guys, people have come out to complain, people have come out to talk about how hard the times have become, how expensive life has become, and how it's so hard to even afford things that were used to, being the basic things. When things like food, shelter, and clothing become a thing of discussion, then it means the situation has to be really bad. Now, even older people are coming out to talk about how their retirement is not even an experience to look up to anymore. You know, initially people used to know that when you get your pension and you're retired, you now live a comfortable life where you are quiet, you have the peace that you need, you can rest, you know, and your life still goes on. Now, these people are even complaining that as it is right now, you cannot afford to do that, because for those that are doing not so well, they are just 1 month away from being homeless. They're 1 month away from being totally, completely broke, losing everything. Now, that is the situation that is happening in America right now. You wonder why all this is going on. There has to be a lot that is at play for this to be the current situation of America. The leadership of America has changed, and everything is looking as though it's going wrong. You know, for anyone that is keen enough, they realize that America is not the same. America is not used to this kind of things affecting them. America has been on top of the game for a lot of years, and that's why it's a superpower country to begin with. Now, many people are wondering what is happening to the American dream. The American dream has become an illusion. It has become something that you can only believe if you're asleep, you know. That's why it's actually a dream. It's living up to the name. Everything has changed and life has become horrible. People are miserable. A lot of things just going south very fast, and people don't even know what to do anymore. Now, guys, I know you would like to know a lot of what people are saying on these videos, so let me not say so much yet. You will have my commentary towards the end of the video, and now let's just watch the video and then I'll be back. I hope to see you in a bit.
I get that. I don't, but I've never been in their shoes. So, but I don't want people to blame themselves, because it's not your fault. The system isn't built to protect us in today's world. It's just not.
I just want to know if anybody else's insurance is as crazy as mine is. I just got my renewal for the coming year, and my auto policy is up another $500, and my homeowners is up $800. I'm just supposed to magically find an extra $1,300 laying around? This is really freaking ridiculous. Like, how are people living anymore?
$302,325 is currently the amount of debt that we owe. That is such a huge number to have to say out loud. It's super scary. This is the number we'll be going into 2026 with. Unfortunately, we started out too late. With the holiday months coming up, I see very little money being applied to that number, although I will give it my best effort. But yeah, that's the number we're looking to head into 2026 with. So let's get into the numbers real quick. We have $166,850 currently in student loans. We have 2 student loans. One is mine, and then one is a Parent Plus loan. About $99,000 is the Parent Plus loan. We have about $112,485 for a mortgage. $10,522 for a car payment, it's just one car. $6,042 in credit cards, $3,022 in personal loans, and then $3,404 in medical miscellaneous debts. So there we are. Those are the numbers we are working with, and we are gonna try every side hustle possible to dig our way out in 2026.
So here's an interesting chart I wanted to share with you. Regarding the cost of living for the American Dream now, one recent estimate is about $5 million over a lifetime for the Dream, which is components of home, kids, retirement, etc. And also 74% of Americans say that their costs have risen, with many saying they're paying $100 to close to $800 more per month just to keep up. Now, if you're paying just $100 more a month, that's not really that impactful, but $800 more a month, where's that money coming from for many people?
So here's the situation that my family and I are in. My husband is a government employee and he works for the state police. He also owns his own computer business and he gets about 15 hours a week. He also bartends when it's available, but right now in our town, the bar is very dead. It's not busy like it is in the summer times. I stay home with our 3 children because daycare is $1,000 a month for 3 kids. So my husband at the police, before taxes are taken out, makes $3,600 a month. We paid for daycare. That would be more than what he makes at the police. I cannot find a job that would cover that kind of financial burden. I just made a grocery pickup order and we do get EBT. We get $119 a month. And so we use the last little bit of EBT that we have to pay for the food that will probably last our family for the next week. On top of that, our car insurance went from $298 to $540 a month. Our property taxes increased, and so that means our mortgage increased. Inflation is incredibly high. Grocery prices are incredibly high. And gas prices are incredibly high. I texted him today and I said, I don't know how we're going to pay our insurance, which is $540 a month. I don't know how we are going to pay for our phone bill, because that is $300 a month, and we do not have brand new phones. We do not have a payment plan. That's just how expensive it is to have two phone lines at AT&T. Our electric bill is $220, also due at the end of the month. And right now we have $230 in our checking account. And what we needed for food was not covered fully by EBT, so I had to pay $89 out of pocket to get the rest of the food that we need. This can only last us about a week and a half. My husband works 3 jobs. I stay home to prevent daycare costs, because I would be working to pay somebody else to take care of our children. This is the America that we live in. My husband's a government employee and only makes $42,000 a year. And I don't know where you live, but that's a really hard living to live on. So before you say that people sit on their ass and you have to pay for it, just remember you're only getting about $36 a year taken out of your check for somebody to receive EBT. And we're not making it. Not even a little bit.
Should I rant about San Diego for a second? I was raised here for a majority of my life. My entire family lives here, lived here for generations. And the way that locals are getting priced out is just something that needs to really be talked about more on a very serious level. It is just absolutely insane, the price of everything now, and how much higher it has gone and how much the quality has gone down. Like, everything. Don't even get me started on SDG&E. SDG&E and I have beef. Tell me why my delivery fee is the same price, if not more, than what my electric generation is. And I don't have AC. Like, I really don't use a lot of electricity at all. Why is my bill almost $400 every month? I don't know. I had someone come out here and look, and guess what? They charged me to have someone come out here and look. They found nothing. They're like, that's just normal. No, it's fucking not. Traffic. Why is traffic start at 2 p.m. and why does it go till 7? Good luck getting there. It's like you're almost imprisoned in your house between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then if you want to go out after that, you better wait till after traffic, after 7 p.m. Going out to eat, prices have skyrocketed, absolutely skyrocketed, which I get, like servers and stuff and like these businesses have to stay open, but it's gotten to the point where it's like I can't even go out and eat anymore. It's just so much money. And the quality has like significantly decreased. It's just like not even worth it at this point. Groceries here, absolutely ridiculous. And I like try and go to Grocery Outlet, or I try and go to Costco when I can and get what I can. But I mean, sometimes you have to just go to the other, like the Vons or the Ralphs, and it's just ridiculous how much they're charging. And then don't get me started on like gas, $5 a gallon, absolutely ridiculous. Rent. I live in a house, I've lived here for almost 6 years, so I'm very grateful that I have this price that I've been paying for almost 6 years, which is like unheard of. But if I were to pay the price that I'm paying now, if I had to go move, I'd be living in a studio or a 1-bedroom apartment. It's just absolutely ridiculous how much everything is. And I said, I grew up here. I know San Diego's always been expensive. Like it's always been really pricey. I get that, but it's just to a point now where it's like, you cannot sustain living here. My parents had a house in Escondido when I was growing up, and it was a very nice house. They were blue collar workers, both of them were. Tell me why the mortgage was less than what I'm paying now for my house. That is a third of the size and a way less nice area. Tell me why. Jobs now in San Diego, they still think that like, oh, you're living in San Diego, you'll take the pay cut to live here. Okay, and that's just not sustainable anymore. That's just not, like, my boyfriend does blue collar work. Tell me why, if he was looking for a new job right now, he was seeing jobs starting at $20 to $23 an hour in San Diego. That needs like experience. Like, it wasn't just like starting, like that was like with jobs that need 5+ years experience. It is absolute insanity.
If you work in corporate, I hate to break it to you, but they don't care about you. I was laid off 2 days after I was given a $10,000 raise. And also I was working on this big project that we were soon to be launching. And also I was close with my boss. He told me, your job is safe. Nothing's going to happen to you. And it did. No matter what they tell you, no matter the amount of money they give you, they can let you go at any time. And it is a terrible thing that they can do that. I could never do that to somebody. Don't get me started on the friendships at work. Your friendships, people that I thought I was so close with, people that I've traveled with, people that I thought were some of my best friends, haven't even called to reach out, nothing. So don't put your blood, sweat, and tears into a company, into people that just aren't going to care. They don't care.
If you are a healthcare worker, you need to get your affairs in order right now. Like right now. And let me tell you why. We have watched federal employees lose their jobs over the last 10 months. This is hundreds of thousands of people. People who we would have never thought would have lost their job. Like, everybody knows in the federal government, that's like a lifelong career. They have lost their jobs by the hundreds of thousands. We have watched the tech industry where thousands of people have lost their jobs. We are currently watching a ton of people who work at the airport and the airlines be furloughed. This is not a joke. Once the Medicare or Medicaid cuts start next year, I fear that healthcare workers will be next. They will be reducing costs by any measure, and that means firing us, nurses, doctors, PAs, MPs, CNAs, all of us. If you don't have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund saved, I would recommend doing it now. If you can work the overtime right now, do it now. If you can pay down your debt right now, pay it off. And listen, I know we all need a vacation, but this is not the time. This is not the time. Like, it's time to lock in. Over the next 3 years, we honestly are gonna have to lock in.
This economy is so bad. $33 for toilet paper? We can't even afford to shit.
Like, are we dead serious right now? Like, are we dead ass? Is this real life?
Look at that. You gotta be fucking kidding us, Ruffles.
A regular Coke, 3 for $20.97. like actual soda, $21.
What the fuck? Used to get a whole cup.
$13.99, $14 for a gallon of orange juice? Y'all must be out of y'all.
For 2 pounds of lunch meat, $23. How the hell we supposed to feed our kids on this crap?
Truly, look at this. Look how small this pack is. Seriously, that fits like in my palm. Crazy.
The grocery stores are like, it looked like it haven't even been touched.
I give us a year, nobody's gonna be able to afford anything. $50. No joke, dude. We wanted roast for Memorial Day, so I got a roast, 1 onion, 2 cans of potatoes, 2 cans of carrots, and 1 can of corn. $47.
Inflation was at 3.8% in April 2026. That was CPI. It was at 6% PPI. Economists are expecting 10% inflation by the end of September. It has gone up almost 50% in the last 90 days. How much more can Americans take? We have increased layoffs, increased home foreclosures, increased student loan delinquencies, increased credit card debt. We are bursting at the seams right now, and we are on like dang. That is $1 billion to $2 billion per day. We are $39 trillion in debt. We're spending $5 billion every day since October, $2 billion in interest. The economy in the US is at its max limit, and I am predicting we are going to see something like the Great Depression. Please do not spend money. Do the best that you can to budget and get your finances in order.
They're laying off the recruiters. They are laying off the recruiters. And if you're not a recruiter like me, and you're not living and breathing on LinkedIn, you're probably not seeing this. But the majority of people that I'm seeing recently laid off are the recruiters. And you know what that means? That means they're not hiring. We're not hiring. And they are going to tell you that it's because this work is being replaced by AI, but we are not there yet. Not collectively. We still need recruiters, and they're being laid off in massive numbers. And I have not seen this since 2008, when things were really bad. I made a video about this several months ago. I saw this coming, but this is a 5-alarm fire. They are not hiring. They are firing recruiters. That is a very bad sign. Bye.
I am so sick of looking for a job in the United States during late stage capitalism. I have applied to dozens of jobs in all different types of industries, and I have heard back from one company. I had a 2.5-hour interview with them, and they said, we would love to hire you. It was a bartending position. It was a privately owned business. They said, we would love to hire you. I'm going to contact you in a few days with your start date, and we'll have a meeting with the other employees. It'll be great. That was 10 days ago. I have not heard a thing. And the thing is, I shouldn't have to reach back out to them. I already had to reach back out to them multiple times while scheduling the interview itself because they dropped the ball. I shouldn't have to babysit the people who are going to employ me. And you know what? An overwhelming majority of the jobs that I applied to weren't even real jobs. They were just fishing for information. There was another bartending job I applied to a chain steakhouse. I'm not going to say which one, but it's a pretty easy guess. I applied 2 weeks ago. I saw that same job ad reposted today, so I called them and I said, hey, I applied 2 weeks ago and I haven't heard anything. Just wanted to see what's going on. She said, oh, and I quote, we don't really hire bartenders off the street. Okay. She said, our corporate office puts those ads out just in case. Okay. Then she said, go back in and apply as a server and you'll be sure to get a phone call from us. a phone call from the manager. That's you. We're speaking right now. Why don't you set up an interview with me now? No. I can't see your application that you already put in, the bartending resume. I can't see it. Then where the did it go?
I am likely going to get in some trouble for this, but I'm going to go ahead and say this anyway. I caught a clip today from one of my favorite podcasts. I'll link them in the comments. They were chatting with a gentleman named John Lee, and he dropped a bomb. He called the return to office push a quiet layoff. Are you effing kidding me? That hit so hard. I mean, think about it. Think about it for a second. During COVID, many companies massively overhired. Now, instead of cutting loose the talent, they're quietly pressuring people back into offices under the guise of restoring culture. Here's the real kicker. 73% of companies will require employees to be back in the office 3 or more days a week by the end of 2025. That's nearly 3/4 of businesses turning attendance into a subtle form of downsizing, with no official layoffs. Meanwhile, employees are reminded that remote, which, by the way, consistently drives up retention and productivity, is on its way out. Companies are reclaiming control of bodies, not necessarily delivering value. It's a strategic squeeze, not a refocus. This isn't about boosting performance. It's about trimming staff without triggering an HR mess. And if you're hearing more chatter about, we're an in-office culture, then talking about your compensation, that, my friend, could be your warning. So if your company insists you're back 5 days a week, or they're dangling incentives for FaceTime, pause and ask, is this a culture reboot or a quiet exit strategy?
Video after video after video talking about people talking about going into foreclosure, eviction notices, living paycheck to paycheck, and same. Yep, we are living paycheck to paycheck. And I got to think, I remember 14 years ago when my daughter was born, I had no money pretty much. I mean, I was working as a waitress, I was young, I was a freshman in college, thinking if I made this much money, I would be living stress-free. I do make that much money now. In fact, I make more money than that. I make good money. My husband makes good money. And we are living paycheck to paycheck. Just over the last 5 years, our car insurance has doubled, almost tripled, and no, we don't have any new tickets, no car accidents, nothing. Our phone bill has doubled, and I've paid off pretty much all of our phones. Still keeps going up. Our mortgage has gone up $600, $700 since we bought our house 5 years ago, just from an increase in homeowners insurance and property taxes. Our medical insurance has gone up. More money is being taken out of our paychecks or whatever. Grocery bills, can't even fathom how much more it's gone up. At least $600 a month. Like, this blows my mind. Like, we worked our way from the bottom to have these really nice careers, thinking oh, this is it, we finally made it, and we are still living paycheck to paycheck, and barely making it, literally stressing out about finances all the time. If this was 20 years ago, we probably would have been considered upper class, or I know we would have been considered upper class, and now we are literally barely hanging on. It blows my mind, and I don't understand how this is okay in any way. And all I can picture is these billionaires sitting up in their little offices and just laughing about how poor we are. I don't know. I'm so mad and frustrated, and after seeing so many videos of people losing their houses and apartments and cars, and how is this okay? How is this okay? And the government, everyone's just yeah, it's cool. Well, we're millionaires. It's fine.
I feel like we are not panicking with how quickly and how steeply this economy is going to crash and diseases are going to run rampant. I still cannot believe that tap to pay works. We have this entire credit system, this entire economy is built on buy now, pay later, buy now, pay later, buy now, pay later. And at first it's designed as a good thing. people want to get a house, which they can't afford with the money that they earn from their drugstore. So the bank will give them a small loan with a small interest rate, and they'll pay it back over time, and everything will kind of square away. And now we've turned everything into that. That's why this is going to be so much worse than 2008, because 2008 was only housing. That's the crazy thing. We talk about how 2008 hit all of these different sectors of the economy, but it's just because housing went down. It was because these banks and these subprime mortgage-backed securities that people, the entire thing, they were just giving out bad loans to people who would never ever pay them back. So they're giving 5 loans to somebody who makes $20 an hour for 5 different houses. That's the Big Short. That's the entire thing. Now that's everything. Now that's the entire economy is built on that. And that's what's so crazy when you think about how far this is going to crash. Like, boomers are still saying, we know a recession is coming, but you got to keep your money in the market, because like when the market returns, and it always does, you're going to want to get those gains. You want a dollar cost average, but it doesn't work if there's no money. We're now at the point of you can finance your food. Like, people are so poor that you can actually finance your food. We went from being able to finance a house to financing a burrito. That's insane. Just from a purely economic standpoint, forget the moral issues of everybody should have food as a human right. We're so far past that. The unemployment rate is 4.2% or 4.9%. Like, give me a break. 96% of people are employed. And that's not even to mention, like, adequately employed. Like, if you wanted to look at a real unemployment measure, you would look at, like, how adequately employed people are for their skill set and knowledge base. There's no chance that 96% of people are employed right now. And I have, most of my college friends are either vastly underemployed or unemployed now. So that number is just completely wrong.
I don't think you guys are going to be ready for me to tell you how much I just spent on groceries and show you what I got. I spent, here, wait, let me show you what I got, okay? Sour cream, salsa, cheddar cheese, turkey bacon, taco shells, 2 bags of tortilla chips, because they were like, buy one get one 50% off, okay? So there's some deals in here. 2 things of salsa packets, these are like $1 each. Sourdough bread. Tortillas, a frozen thing of riced cauliflower, baby spinach, and kind protein bars. Okay, this is it right here. Let me flip the camera around. This is what I bought right here. Okay, this is it. This is it. This cost me $75. Oh, and I had $2 off because I'm a frequent shopper. Yep.
You know what's crazy? I'm paying $2,300 to live in my house that I own with my husband a month. And we just got a letter saying that we, starting November 1st, are going to owe $330 more a month because of property taxes. So for our almost 1,800 square foot house, we're going to be owing $2,600 a month. It's absolutely insane.
So guys, that is it for you, and I know that you have enjoyed watching this video because it is things that you can really relate to. They're things that you as an American citizen, you are experiencing this, or you have a friend or family that is experiencing that. Things are hard for everyone, be it the white people, be it black people, be it Latinos, Cubans, immigrants, everyone is feeling the pinch of what these harsh economic times are becoming. Now, there is no particular group that is talking about the economy being good for them, like things working out normal, except for the billionaires, of course, the people that are with close proximity to power. For example, Trump's friends, we're talking about Elon Musk and such people. For them, their businesses are doing okay. They have been making a lot of money lately, and that is just about who is experiencing life at their best. It's only the billionaires. For the rest of the people, be it white, black, or whatever race that they come from, these people are experiencing very difficult times, difficult moments at the workplace because you're working so hard for very low pay. And once you're paid, you're even struggling to buy groceries, you're even struggling to afford housing, you're struggling to pay your medical bills, your school fees for your children. Like everything is has just spiked and too damn expensive, and people don't even know what to do anymore. The best they can do right now is just speak about it. People are crying on the internet. You have seen a lot of videos, couple of them, where white people are crying on videos. They are trying to express how hard the times have become, how they have been failed by the government, how President Trump does not care about them. He's not listening to them. He's not listening to their cry. He does not care what the people are going through. He's the leader. He's supposed to be the one that is regulating these things and, watching out that his people are in a better position. When he was campaigning, one of the things that he promised people is a better living conditions, better pay, better everything. But now the reality of things is different, that people are actually going through worse situations than they even ever expected. White people, this is coming to them as a very big shock because they have not been used to this. They have not been living their lives like this. They have been having the white supremacy working right for them. They have been having the white privilege that is usually diluting things very much for them and making things a little bit better. Not a little bit, quite better for them, because the experience is nothing compared to the black people and the other immigrants, I would say. For black people and the black community at large, it has always been the hardest thing to live in America because, first of all, getting jobs is so hard. They have to keep proving a lot of things for them to get hired. Now, once they get hired, the pay is too little. Whenever they complain, the government does not listen to them. The employers do not care that black people are complaining. As long as the white people are okay, they do not care about the rest of the people. Now, once you're paid, you have to make sure that your housing is sorted. You have to make sure that your kids are in a better place, maybe school, if they are going to school. You have to keep existing as a normal person, but whatever you're experiencing is really abnormal. And black people have complained. They have talked about it until they go to a point where they say they are not going to say anything anymore. They're going to just be quiet and watch to see what will happen to the government and the United States at large. Now, Trump made people to realize that the American dream is slowly and slowly dying each single day. The American dream is not the same anymore, The American dream used to be painted in such a way that it is something you can look up to. It's something that gives you a hope, something that makes you think that your future is bright, that your future is well taken care of, and all you need to do is just work hard in school, get employed, and then you will live your dream life. And, you can even get to a point where you're doing philanthropy, That is usually the dream that people have, to have enough and to have surplus, to put themselves in a situation where they can even help someone else. That is usually the dream that many people have. But now the American situation is not even allowing that, because you are not going to be able to give from an empty cup. You're not going to pour from an empty cup. You need it yourself. You're unable to afford food, shelter, and clothing, and those are the basic medical things, You're not going to be in a position to help anyone. You are in need yourself. So if anything, you are the one who is supposed to be helped. Now, people are slowly getting disillusioned about America. People are slowly giving up on this dream that they had, because seemingly these things are never going to be they're never going to come to light. They're never going to experience the life that they dreamed of. They're not going to experience all the luxury that they imagined would be their reality at this point, because each day things are just getting worse. You are talking about fuel prices. So people are even unable to use their cars a lot lately. They are opting for public transport because that is just a way to shed off that expenses. Now, with such conditions, you do not expect people to work their best. People are just working because they know that their life depends on that. Black people are struggling so much. They have to take up many jobs. Not to say that this is new to them. They have been doing this for quite some time. It's the white people that are in dire shock. They are in deep shock because for them, they have not had to work so hard. And you realize the statistics that were made recently that actually it's the white people, 76% of them are hoping 76% of them are on welfare. And that goes to tell you that these people have been experiencing life in a very different way compared to the black people, because for black people, with that percentage that is on welfare, and even the cut that they're being given is not anything compared to the white people, black people have had to work many jobs, many jobs. Sometimes they do not even get time to rest because they have to do that, or their families will be homeless, or they will not be able to afford food for their families or any decent life at all. So guys, I know you have thoughts on this video and I would like to know what you think about this. You being an American citizen, how is life lately? How are things going, and what do you think is going wrong? What do you think the government should do to make all these things go away so that the normalcy gets back to America? How is the situation affecting the people around you, and how are they coping? If you have coping mechanisms that you can help the people, the rest of us to use, you can do that in the comment section. If you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly consider subscribing to my channel. It helps the channel to grow and reach a wider audience so that this kind of information is spread all across, and to make sure that a lot of people get in touch with that, and so that we learn and unlearn things together. Guys, I will see you on my next video, so bye for now.